No intro, let's get on with the video. I'm going to give you 5 actionable, practical, no bullshit steps to help dominate your Overwatch 2 lobbies early on. The first tip is to practice and learn your rotations. Very simply put, rotations are just moving from point A to point B. Now I've been doing some coaching on twitch.tv/kj_, and one massive thing that support players in particular aren't doing is flanking or rotating to more aggressive positions enough. Imagine if you were here. Look at the nade you could get on backline here. By the way, you had plenty of time to rotate to high ground. You had plenty of time. You could have been walking forward, healing your monkey, rotate up high grounds, nano your Farah, nade backline, win the fight. Easy clap, clean, right? That's how you win fights as Ana. That's how you win games as Ana. For those surprised about my face reveal, don't be. I did one a few months back and it's my pinned tweet. As you can tell, they're mainly standing still, heal-botting their tanks, and whilst in Overwatch 1, heal-botting was already a bad habit, in Overwatch 2, it's a complete no-go. You're earning 30% less ult charge from healing tanks, and there's only one tank on the field. So instead, you yourself need to be rotating to places, adding value through your utility, such as nade if you're playing Ana, or your damage if you're playing Baptiste or Kiriko. And do you want to know the best part? You can fix this today. Literally, go into a game of Overwatch 2 and look at what positions you could rotate to that would give you an aggressive angle. If you're struggling to find any rotations, then look at other places where you can move to. So for example, on Dorado attack, this position here doesn't give me any other place to rotate to land more aggressive cooldowns. However, this position on Dorado does. I can push up on catwalk, or if my hero has vertical mobility, I can go over the ledge and flank that way. Definitely not looking at future Kiriko mains using this. Not to mention, I can also retreat to safety by jumping off the high ground. The second piece of advice is to literally look at your team. Now this may seem arbitrary and basic on the surface level, but this is unironically game changing. By doing literally nothing and taking the time to look at where your team are at, you can become exponentially more effective by timing your pressure with when your team engages, and or you can follow up when you go in. Say I'm playing Wrecking Ball or Tracer, or any dive hero for that matter, and I'm ready to engage into the enemy team. What I don't want to do is to mindlessly pile drive or triple blink in and feed my brains out because I wasn't looking at where my team were playing and they just couldn't help me. But look at what your team's playing. Your Ana can't help. She can't even throw a nade up here. Like, you're not obviously gonna dash in here. Your Reinhardt can't get swings. Don't do it. What are you doing? Get out of here, bro. Oh no. Oh. You feed as well. Okay, but you need to understand why this is a feed. Okay, and the reason why this is a feed is because your team can't help you. If your kill box was here, your Reinhardt was here, your Ana was here, your Bap was here, you were here, dashing in, your ball was pile driving, this would be good. Because your team can actually follow up. They can help you. Ana can throw nades. Bap can matrix. If your Tracer was coming in as well from here. So please, before you decide to giga feed into the enemy team, physically move your mouse and look at whether your own team can actually support you and whether they have line of sight onto you. It's a fundamental piece to timing your pressure properly. The third point is to actually practice your mechanics. And I don't mean that vague shit like doing a warm-up game or two or queuing into deathmatch whilst you're on queue. I mean actually dedicating a solid 10 minutes or more in custom games specifically designed to train your aim. Now, yes, when Overwatch 2 launches on October 4th, workshop tools will be temporarily unavailable, but an Overwatch community manager confirmed that valid workshop and custom game codes from Overwatch 1 will still work, so there's no need to worry about Overwatch 1 codes not working. So with regards to the codes themselves, there's 2 codes I use. The first one is a 2-year-old workshop code by PMA Jellies called K5. The workshop code features adjustable Sphere Frenzy and Flick game modes, a threats game mode where you have to fend off certain heroes before they touch the opposite wall, Hero Arena where you 1v1 or 1v2 heroes of your choice, Hero Juggle where you have to juggle 3 Reapers by shooting at them, and Flying Heroes which involves eliminating a series of heroes flying across Workshop Island before they drop out of your line of sight. There's also another code popularised by Overwatch YouTuber Paz called Vaxter, where you aim at a variety of different heroes with some information in the top left keeping track of your stats. So depending on what you want, whether that be something more versatile or something more straightforward, there's really no reason to not dedicate some time in landing your shots. Keep in mind, Kiriko is being released with unique kunais that have a sharp learning curve. If you can get ahead of everyone by getting used to her projectile speed before everyone else, you could be more consistently carrying your games by especially landing kunais in the head, dealing triple damage. I'm sure you've already seen ML7, SK or Bad Pachimari pop off with the hero already. The fourth and arguably most important tip, please don't let the soft SR reset screw with your mental. Now, I did make an Overwatch mentality guide quite a while back, and thankfully advice on mentality and improvement doesn't really change with time, but as we're heading into a new game and with an influx of new and or returning players affecting how competent the average Overwatch player is, you're probably going to get tilted very quickly. As a result, expect an increase in gamer moments, as lobbies will become more heated as the average player quality drops. Now hopefully, the change in 5v5, which gives players more agency in the match, can reduce the effect of feeling powerless, meaning you focus on your own play more than anybody else's, but that doesn't really fix any deep-rooted mindset issues that you may or may not have. So in short, focus on improving at the game rather than climbing rank, and more specifically, realize that improving at the game comes before climbing rank. Focus on your true SR or in Overwatch 2, your true skill tier division, or SCD funnily enough, and if you don't know what true SR or STD is, it's the SR or skill tier division that you'd be comfortable boosting an account to for actual money, because it shows that you can consistently play at that level and therefore you deserve to be there. If you peaked at a rank or two higher, but you can't stay there and maintain that rank, that's on you, and that shows that you don't deserve to truly be there, and that is not your true SR. And thirdly, focus on what you can control over what you can't. This actually applies to just life in general, because there's nothing productive, useful, or cathartic about fixating and complaining on factors that you ultimately can't control. The fifth and final tip for whatever hero you're playing is to ask yourself, how do I win games as this hero? In other words, find out what the purpose of your hero does and why you pick that hero over other heroes. The reason why this is so important going into Overwatch 2 is because new heroes are actually being added, the tank category is getting reworked alongside other hero reworks like Bastion and Sombra. I will be making guides on these heroes, so don't worry, but if you can get ahead of the curve, that'll give you a leg up. I'll give you an example of what I mean. So for Reinhardt, you win games with him with Shatter, and I have a collab with Iostux entirely on that concept. For Kiriko, you play her for what I call hyper-aggressive disengages, but more on that with my guide on her coming very soon. It goes without saying, but if you want the best Kiriko guide on YouTube, make sure you stick around with the channel. So as a summary of all the points covered, learn and become aware of your rotations, particularly aggressive ones, look at your team before you engage, dedicate time specifically for your mechanics, stabilize your mental with the competitive changes in Overwatch 2, and learn your hero's purpose / how you win games as them. As a bonus tip, go check out these Overwatch YouTube channels, and for those who've watched my content in the past, you'll know that I've plugged these guys a lot. They're either professional or amateur coaches, and they've either put out great content in the past and or they're planning to up their game in Overwatch 2. So that's the video. Like I said, my next video will be a banger Kiriko guide, so I highly recommend you stick around to get a heads up on that. You can check out my educational starter pack in the meantime. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if this video helped to raise your IQ, be sure to share it with your friends to also raise theirs. Until next time. Also, I'll be streaming at 3 PM EST / 8 PM UK time, so drop a follow down below on my Twitch to catch me streaming Overwatch 2 on release.